Hi, in this video, I will explain the code that is written in Flex. So we need to compile it first with the Flex and a C compiler. Flex will generate a C code file based on the provided rules, and the C compiler will compile that file into an executable. So when we run the executable, it will prompt you to enter the code, and it will tokenize and print the tokens based on the rules defined in the Flex code. So I will explain to you the code. The first one is this. This one are flex directives that allows us to include additional code that will be copied verbatim into the generated code. So in this case, the code between this includes the necessary header file. The stdio.h declares the yyRef function prototype and defines the yyRef function. The yyRef function is used to indicate the end of input for the lexer. Next is this one. So this one is a flex delimiter that separates the rules section from the C code section. And this group of lines, so these lines define rules for specific keywords, the if, else, while, the int, float, char, and return. So when any of these keywords are encountered in the input code, the associated action is executed. So which in this case is to print a message indicating the type of token found. Next, this line defines a rule for identifiers. So an identifier starts with a letter or underscore followed by any number of letters, digits, or underscores. So when an identifier is encountered in the input code, the associated action is executed, which prints ID followed by the identifier itself. Next is this line. So this line defines a rule for integers. So an integer consists of one or more digits. When an integer is encountered in the input code, the associated action is executed, which prints integer followed by the integer itself. Next, this line defines a rule for string literals enclosed in double quotes. When a string literal is encountered in the input code, the associated action is executed, which prints ID followed by the string literal itself. Next, this group of lines defines rules for various operators and symbols. So when any of these operators or symbols are encountered in the input code, the associated action is executed, which prints the corresponding token and its representation. And next, this group of lines define rules for various punctuation marks. So when any of these punctuation marks are encountered in the input code, the associated action is executed, which prints the corresponding token and its representation. And next, in this line defines a rule for any invalid token that doesn't match any of the defined rules. So when an invalid token is encountered in the input code, the associated action is executed, which prints invalid token followed by the invalid token itself. And the last one is this. So this is the main function, the entry point of the program. So it prompts the user to enter the code by printing enter the code to the console. So then it calls the yylex function, which initiates the tokenization process according to the defined rules and actions in the flex code. Then it returns 0 to indicate a successful execution. So itry po natin i-run. May mga na-run na po ako dito. Then itry ulit nating i-enter.